for yourself.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So to start with some few thank yous. First of all, I'll follow up on Alex's. Thank you very much to the bridesmaids. You all look stunning. You've done a fantastic job. In particular, making sure that Jenny went against her better judgment today and actually came along. On behalf of Alex and Jenny, can I also thank all of you for coming. I think the fact that so many of you made the journey down here today is a testament to the kind of people that Alex and Jenny are. Any of you that know her, know them. Any of you that know them know what a wonderful couple they are, how they complement each other, and I'm sure you all join me in wishing them all the best for the future. Alex, you're a lucky man. Jenny is intelligent, caring and beautiful, and she deserves a kind husband. Luckily, she agreed to marry you before she found one. Also, Alex, thank you for your kind words. We'll see if you still stand by them by the end of the speech, but we'll see how it goes. At any rate, I hope you made the most of your speech. Not only has Jenny informed me that this is going to be the last time that Alex can speak on her behalf, I think it's probably also the last time you're going to be able to speak for 10 minutes without being interrupted. So I've worked with Alex now for about 4.5 years, and I've grown to know him quite well in that time. And quite oddly, while I've known Alex, or probably quite oddly for a best man, since I've known Alex, he's always been with Jenny. And so it's quite hard for me to imagine Alex without Jenny, or for that matter, Jenny without Alex. Now, when Alex told me that he was engaged, obviously I was overjoyed for both of them. And when he asked me to be his best man, I was overwhelmed. They say that you can judge someone by the friends that they keep. And having now met quite a few of Alex's friends on the stag do, I can honestly say that being chosen as best man was quite an honour. As the wedding started to grow closer, that honour started to fade a little as I realised that I was going to have to stand up here for 10 minutes and give Alex and Jenny the speech that they deserved. That was until I did some background reading and found out what my duties were. Now, in addition to making sure that I brought the rings to the wedding, which thankfully I managed, and also in remembering to unhandcuff Alex at the end of the stag night, I also have a duty to stand up here now and humiliate Alex from just about every single possible angle. And so I know that there's one person sitting here that's very nervous, uneasy, and a little bit queasy. All I can say is, don't worry, it's probably because you just married Alex. So to start at the beginning, Alex and Jenny, as you heard, met 4.5 years ago. And they met in a venue in Southampton called Jester's. Now obviously some of you that haven't lived in Southampton don't know what this means. So I'm not sure you're picturing the meeting of the happy couple. Obviously Jester's, it must be a classy comedy club. Alex is there whining and dining, dressed pretty much like he is today, regaling large crowds with stories and short anecdotes. When in walks Jenny, also dressed like she is today, instantly stunned by Alex's charm. Now unfortunately this isn't quite how it happened. Jester's, well, when Alex and I started at university, Jester's was ranked the 3rd worst nightclub in the UK. Now since then, I'm informed the first has been closed down, and the second has burnt down. So officially you now met in the worst nightclub in the UK. So pushing that aside, how did they meet? Well, Jenny was on a club social, dressed as a schoolgirl, and Georgie, one of the bridesmaids, introduced the couple as, this is Jenny, she's a nurse and she plays rugby, and this is Alex, he's a Navy boy. Now somehow, even with the choice of venue and these lavish introductions, our happy couple hit it off, and they've been going strong ever since. Alex, I think you owe a lot to Georgie for that introduction. If it wasn't for that night, you wouldn't now be sitting next to Jenny. Jenny, if it wasn't for that night, you wouldn't have a cat called Jester. So 3.5 years later, Alex did the honourable thing and proposed to Jenny on the back of an expenses paid business trip. Thankfully, one of the points he missed out is I did check, and he didn't try and claim back the ring on expenses. The stag weekend came and went, and as the wedding started to draw closer, Jenny started to become a little bit worried that Alex seemed to be spending more time with me than he was with her. Now, I put this down to preparing the stag do, his work commitments, and maybe pre-wedding jitters. Then about a month ago, we both had to go to Rome on a conference trip, and I left the travel arrangements in Alex's usually capable hands. Now, I think it was a Sunday that we arrived in Rome, quite late in the evening, and eventually made it through to our hotel. It was a nice little cosy hotel on a back street. We got shown to our room, and interestingly, when we went in the room, there was a double bed waiting for us. Now, luckily, while I was very flattered, Alex brushed it off as a mistake, sorted it out with the hotel, found us some alternative accommodation, and turned up here today to marry Jenny. So in putting together this speech, because I didn't know Alex before Alex knew Jenny, I thought I'd ask around some of his friends and work colleagues to see what they thought of him. Alex was compared to many great men, in the most part unfavourably, but compared with the Some of his work colleagues commented that he was full of useless information on telephone area codes and what the different barcodes mean. One of his Navy colleagues said that he was a great sailor, he got horribly seasick on a boat, and sunburned on cloudy days. Someone else, this is one of Alex's friends from university, said that his favourite memory of Alex was that after living the dream at university, he realised he was getting a little bit portly. So Alex decided to go on a diet. Now, not being one to follow other people's advice, Alex decided to make up his own diet. And this consisted of reducing his nightly intake of pies down from 2 pies to 1 pie. So then whenever he let himself go a little and felt that he was back in shape, he used to get referred to as being 2-pie Alex.
Thank you, Fraser.
I noticed, dredging through material for this speech, I decided to have a look at Facebook, and as you go back through Alex's previous birthdays, there was a good comment from an anonymous family member saying, "You're still the baby of the family, even with grey hair." And I think, while Alex is often mistaken for being older than he actually is, one of his friends commented that only last week we were subjected to watching back-to-back episodes of Thomas the Tank Engine. Jenny, please make sure he hasn't packed them for the honeymoon. Joking aside, Alex's friends also came back with comments saying that he was intelligent, reliable, a good laugh, and a damn good bloke. And I think that summarises the Alex that lots of us know. So it's also tradition for the best man to provide some advice on how the groom should endure married life. Now, as a single man, I don't really feel like I'm in the best position to offer this advice, but I will say one thing. While you're sitting there, Alex, I think you know that you are sitting next to the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, or at least I hope. What I will say, however, is that if you want this to be a long life, make sure you do as Jenny says. that is because statistically, you're also sitting next to the person most likely to kill you. I'm going to bring this to a close now so that you can all get on to enjoying the rest of your evening. At work, Alex and I have a bit of a running joke, and that's that whenever we introduce ourselves to visitors, Alex tends to follow me by saying, "And I'm Alex, I'm basically the same as Jeff, but a year behind." Now, there's just one area that this isn't true, and that's the happiness, the love, and the companionship that Alex has found in Jenny. Honestly, Alex, it's been an honour being your best man, and so it gives me great pleasure to invite you all to be upstanding, to raise your glasses, and to join me in toasting the happy couple, the bride and groom. Bride and groom.